What's happening, people? Welcome back to the channel. Yeah, again, I am back for another stream. KG is here. Transfer news updates, new transfer rumor possibly out of the club, out of Leeds United. Very interested to get your thoughts on that one too. I think it might be a mixed bag, or maybe it won't be. We'll see. Before I proceed, please hit a like on the video, subscribe if you're not subscribed, and drop your comments below. Shout out to Brian over in Connecticut and Karen Curtin for the super thanks on the last videos. Much appreciated. And yeah, and if you want to be a member of the channel, memberships are in the description. Obviously, the main topic here tonight will be Jack Harrison, who's subject of interest from Leicester City, which is very interesting. Very, very interesting. Tom is saying, I say it's a good deal for 35 million. Yeah, I mean, listen, if it's anywhere near that, and listen, we'll talk about that in just a bit. Ian saying, good evening. Dale, hey, yo. Nice Razor Ramon reference there. Rebecca G saying, KG, I feel like you're posting every 5 minutes. Not that I mind. Yeah, listen, when the connection's good, you feel more comfortable coming online and streaming again. When the connection's not so good, you don't want to come on because it's a headache for both you and I. So yeah, no, I'm hoping that this is the last one I'm doing. Maybe I get a day off tomorrow. We'll see. Um, yeah, Dale Steele will be a peanut bid from Leicester. But yeah, just before I go on to Jack Harrison, just want to give a quick update on Weston McKennie. And that's a video that I did earlier today. So if you haven't seen that one, go and check that one out. I've even put the link to that video in the description. But according to Florian Plettenberg, who's the one that broke the Jorginho Ruta transfer, Weston McKennie is actually open to joining Leeds United, which is very promising. He's rep by Brendan Aronson's agency too. I mean, you know, agency hype and all that. But the main bit of it is that he is open to coming to Leeds United. So where some people didn't think that he'd possibly be interested, with Arsenal being interested and stuff like that, he is. And it's probably for the reasons that I mentioned in the previous video. It just makes sense. And he's got friends here, close friends here. I can see if Arsenal don't like put in a solid offer for him, that Leeds United would be an option. So again, keep your eye out on that one. But yeah, Florian did say though that the price was around 30 to 40 million euros. So you know the price is fluctuating because the reports I read was in between 17 to 23 million, which probably sounds a bit more correct. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one. But yeah, I gave all my Weston McKennie thoughts on the video earlier, and the one yesterday too, surprisingly. You know, people now think I'm in the know. I'm really not in the know. So please don't spread that kind of rumor. Uh, yeah. Batty's magical sponge. And just in regards to Tagliafico, I still can't believe he went to Leon for 3 million. Yeah, there was a bunch of left backs that went fairly cheap in the summer, but we obviously had different ideas. Yeah, Gavin here saying Fab says no Arsenal interest. I mean, I'm only going by one other thing that I read, but even that wasn't a reputable one. So I do believe that if Fab says that, then I'll go with that too. If there's no Arsenal interest, and even if there was, listen, I gave my reasons in the earlier video. We don't need to rehash that one. How about though, just quickly with not focusing, but talking about our rivals as such. Everton thinking they're getting Danjuma done, and he's gone to Spurs instead. Imagine that. Imagine that. I mean, that's cold. I mean, it just can't get any worse for Everton. And apparently Bielsa said no for anyone that was wondering too. Listen, everything is aligning for Everton to go, and we just got to take care of ourselves. But yeah, Danjuma was going to go Everton. He did the medical and everything, but he refused to sign the paperwork, and he's gone Tottenham instead. So yeah, man. Listen. Jamie Dodger, KG's like Gordon Ramsay, never reveals his sources. Oh no, if it's reporters, I'll always say who the sources are. You know, I always credit people when they've given the work publicly. It's only if you ever told something behind closed doors, I wouldn't say. But yeah, if it's out in the public, I've got no problem with that. I always say give people their credit. I don't think people give people enough credit as it is. Now, Jed, you can't do that no more. KG, am I seeing you in HD now, or did you pay your internet this month? No more Wi-Fi jokes. The Wi-Fi jokes are dead because my Wi-Fi is good now. So leave me alone, Jed. Maya is saying, can't sell Harrison. We're not safe yet. And Brendan Aronson is terrible for the last month. Oh no, not Jack could do a job. Oh no, I hate that phrase. Another one of those football phrases I hate. Could do a job. Yeah, yeah. Kevin James, Lampard sack made him change his mind. It could be that, but then you can also just say that Tottenham's a much more attractive proposition. Working for Antonio Conte, there is gaps to get into that team as well because Son has been very, very off form. So maybe he gets a chance there, and he probably maybe he gets registered for Champions League games as well. Maybe so. Ben is just saying Bielsa was never going to Everton. The only thing I'll say about the Bielsa Everton thing is that it just didn't make sense to me that he'd go in the middle of a season. If that makes sense, I would never have thought of Bielsa going mid-season to try and douse a fire. I just didn't see it. But I would have had no problems with him going. You know, he almost went Bournemouth, didn't he? So yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. But I just don't think the Everton board would allow him to run it the way that he wanted to as well. There's just so many factors with Bielsa. So many factors. Uh, yeah, in regards to Harrison, hi KG, for 30 million, I carry him on my back. I'm an 8 stone, 60-year-old. Tremendous. Well, yeah, listen, let's get into it because Jack Harrison has been linked with Leicester City and Mike McGrath, who is a source. He's very good as well. Very good at what he does. Gets a lot of stuff right, and he's confirmed that Leicester City, Brendan Rodgers are interested in Jack Harrison. And there's even still rumblings that Newcastle could go back in for Jack Harrison if they don't get Anthony Gordon. So as you can see, there's a lot of moving parts. I think this last week of the January transfer window is going to be absolutely mad. I think it's going to be crazy. But Jack Harrison is wanted by Leicester. The only thing for me with that is I don't think Leicester have got the kind of money that Leeds are after. I mean, it's said that Leeds want around 35 million. I think that's probably just publicly. I don't think you probably get 35 million for Jack now with 18 months left on his contract. I just don't see it. But you know, publicly, you've got to show that you're in a position of strength. And if you want him this month, Leicester City, you've got to pay good money because listen, by the time we're ready to cash in on him in the summer, that price will have to go down because it's 12 months left on his contract. He's not even an England international or USA international by that. So there is a certain price that he's going to have to go by. And it's just funny with Jack Harrison, isn't it? That before we got Nanto and all that stuff, we was hoping that you'd either hope that he sign a new contract or sell him to Newcastle for good money or sell him in hope that we get a new winger that would replace him. And Jack Harrison, for me, has been well and truly replaced. I think that between Nanto, Sinistero, when he's healthy, I think that we've got more than enough cover. And plus, Jorginho can go out there if needs be too. And possibly Somerville. I just think that for me, and I said it earlier stream because somebody asked about him as it happens, but I think he's around. I think he is a firm bench player at Leeds United now. So I don't know where he fits in. Yeah, John B, to sell or not to sell, that is the question. And that's what I'm asking you guys. And you guys in the chat here now, tell me here and then tell me in the comments after. Because I don't know there's this thing, and I'll say, even though I really don't want to, but would you sell against a relegation rival? Are we strengthening our relegation rival by selling them Jack Harrison? See, for me, if you're selling to a relegation rival and strengthening them, that would be selling them Tyler Adams. I don't see selling Jack Harrison for that kind of money. Even if you were to get 30 million, I don't see that as strengthening a rival personally. And I think you have to look after your own house as well. Obviously, with the money we're spending and the amount of money that's going to probably go on another central midfielder, we're going to have to recruit. But it's said that Leeds United as well probably want to keep him until the summer. But if Leicester City are serious and want to quell the interest of other clubs, because obviously by the time summer comes, other clubs will get into the race as well, but they can secure him this January. So yeah, what we're saying. CB sooner sell to the Geordies. I think they've probably only got the money Leeds are looking at. Leicester City have been penny pinching all season long, haven't they? You know, they sold Kasper Schmeichel, didn't even replace him. They settled with Danny Ward. He has come good, but yeah, they're not spending much money for whatever reason that is. I'm not sure about Leicester City's finances. Somebody said sell to the highest bidder. Jet saying maybe they're looking for a James Madison replacement for the future. Who knows? Yeah. And listen, he's got more of a window to get in the Leicester team as well because Harvey Barnes, for as talented as he is, you know, he hasn't been as good this season. So there's probably more scope for him to get in the team there as well. Ben Tillotson saying 30 million. I see that as having their pants down. Yeah, I think 30 million would be an outstanding offer for him. And I mentioned his age as well, by the way, 26, because you know Jack Harrison is kind of falling into that Jesse Lingard territory. Now stay with me here, because for years you'd hear about Jesse Lingard. Oh, he's got the potential. He's got the potential to be this. He's got the potential to be that. And the years tick by, and he's 24, 25, 26, 27 years old. We're hearing about Jesse Lingard's potential. And Jack Harrison, for me, is kind of going that way, where he's 26 now. And if he's not going to get that consistency now, I don't know when he's going to get it. Maybe it's just not going to happen for him at Leeds United. And maybe a move to Leicester would do him good. But does he even want to go to Leicester City? I don't know. I don't know. Nick G saying Jack will not go to Leicester. Okay, I don't mind him going, but it needs to be 25 million plus. I really don't think he's been up to scratch for 18 months. Yeah, he's just always in and out of form, isn't he, Nick? And he's one of those players. And listen, we spoke about it earlier on the Weston McKennie stream. He's somebody that is just a confidence player. And for me, we've got too many of those guys. We've got too many, and I think we need to start weeding them out. We need to start weeding them out. Gavin Parry, Connor Ferguson signs a pro deal. That is true. That was just on the Leeds Twitter about 15 minutes ago. So shout out to Connor Ferguson. Hitch Geronimo saying Harrison would be a star in Scotland. Many of them have been in it. when you need a boost in your career, just go to Scotland and score 30 goals. Daniel Walker, 30 million kg. Time to take that English tax and let him move on. Yeah, I'm with that. I mean, listen, for the people that say move on, would you move him on this January or would you wait until the summer? But bearing in mind, in the summer, you're not getting 30 million for a player at 26 years old with 12 months left on their contract who's not even an international. It's just not going to happen. And if they did, fair play to the Leeds board and the 49ers, of course. Oh, no, I shouldn't laugh, man. Oh, no. I feel bad for laughing. My expat life in Colombia, he said, I think it will weaken our rival. Oh, man. You guys are cruel, man. Wicked. Wicked people. Wicked. Damn it. I shouldn't have laughed at that. But I do get the humor in that. Let's have a look. Jay Jet saying, if we could get a replacement in January that fits the model, I think it would be reasonable. I think Jet, I don't think it's about getting a replacement. I think it's about once that central midfielder comes in, bearing in mind we've already spent money on Jorginho too, and that we've got Nanto and Sinisterra on that side. I don't think it's about replacing Jack Harrison. I think it's just about trying to balance the books up a bit. And I'm all for that. We're in a what is it called again? I've lost it. What is it called? Mine has gone absolutely blank, people. Unbelievable. I've forgotten what it's called. Oh my days. See, if I was recording this, I'd have just started again. But I'm live and direct. FFP. There we are. We're in an FFP world, so you have to balance the book somehow, and that's what I think it would be. Richard is saying sell for 25 million, move him on, and get the money goes to McKennie bid. Yeah. Allison also saying as long as we get Weston McKennie from it, yeah. That's what I mean. It's just improving all the options there. And for people that think selling Jack Harrison not getting a replacement, his replacement is Nanto, and Nanto is, I mean, he's going to be worth much more than whatever Harrison's going to go for. Much more. It just still blows my mind. I don't know about you, but just thinking that guy was under 5 million is insane. And we're talking about selling Jack Harrison for 25, 30 million. Crazy how football works, isn't it? Crazy how football works. And Theo here, this is how I see him, unfortunately. This is how I see him. Theo saying he's surplus to requirements. Funny how a few months works. Because there was people begging Jack Harrison not to go to Newcastle. Fast forward a few months, he's on the scrap heap. Amazing how it is. Gail saying he is so inconsistent. Yeah, that is a huge problem. It is a huge problem. Yeah, PRE signed Nanto up for a 35-year deal. It's funny because they're talking about clamping down on these long contracts because of Chelsea. Chelsea signing players to 7-8 year deals. But I didn't even know that was a thing. I'll be honest. I feel like I'm pretty well informed, but I thought the most you could do was a 5-year deal and maybe an extended year for a six. But Chelsea absolutely blew my mind with all these 8-year deals. So yeah, I think they're going to be tightening those up. But absolutely, sign on to a 10-year deal while we can. Chris Summerscales is saying no way we're getting 30 million for him, 15 at most. Yeah, I think the 35 million thing is just to show that we're in the position of strength. And if you want him, you're gonna have to pay close to it. And I think maybe if it goes to, I mean, 20, 25 plus add-ons, I think you got to take that with 18 months left. I do. But listen, if you've got different opinions, please let me know. Shout out to Old Git. Always love saying that name. We've now got the position covered. We've got more than enough attacking talent now. More than enough for the rest of this season. Absolutely. Commodore man say Leicester is skint. They must think Harrison would be a cheap option. Yeah, I mean, listen, he's not going to be cheap, and Leeds are letting everybody know that. But it will be interesting to see if Everton do sell Anthony Gordon to Newcastle, and if they don't, if they come back in for Jack Harrison. Because even now, I mean, in that same report by Mike McGrath, by the way, again talking about clubs close to us in the table, Forest are inquiring about Alan St. Maximin. Now, St. Maximin isn't my kind of player. I know people think I love the showboaters and everything else like that, but you've got to have an end product. And for me, he is just way too hit and miss. But again, Nottingham Forest are looking at him, and they kind of discussed that when they did the Chris Wood deal. So again, there's so much to be looking out for in this upcoming week. It's going to be great. I think it's going to be a good end to the January transfer window. Uh, yeah, Paul Gray saying spot on KG 20 to 25 million with only 18 months left on his contract. Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. That's how I'm feeling anyway. But listen, it was only going to be like just a quick one, just a quick update on the Jack Harrison, and to get your opinions on it, because obviously he's a mainstay from the promotion team, and I know how some people feel about that team, that they should never be broken up and stay forever and all that stuff. So just give me your thoughts after the video is done. Please check out the video earlier about Weston McKennie, where I give my full thoughts about that if you didn't see that. And also the video yesterday where we talk about how you're feeling about the team and where we're going right now with 19 games to go. So yeah, I think that's it. Shall I just get a couple more of your comments in before I go? Let me just get in a few more just before I leave. Ram is asking, are Newcastle that rich? Seems like they're not getting real great players at the moment. Now they're being strategic, Ram. They've already said that they're not going to get fleeced. They're not going to do the whole thing where they're paying. Say if you're offering a player for 20 million, but then you see Newcastle coming in there, you make them pay 35 million. They said they're not going to be doing that kind of stuff, and I think that they've recruited pretty well so far. Bruno Gomes. Don't even get me started on the goalkeeper for 10 million in Nick Pope. I won't say much because I already say too much. Dan Burn, I think they've recruited really, really well. And I think that's going to be their model. Obviously, if they finish in the top four this season, it might accelerate their process a little. But yeah, they're just spending very, very smartly. I think they've learned from the mistakes of the Chelsea's before and Man City's now. Listen, I know that they've been very successful, but I'm talking about paying overinflated transfer fees. Like having to be like Chelsea having to pay 35 million for Danny Drinkwater and all these guys. Like, yeah, you can't be doing that. And Newcastle are taking the lead on that. So, big up to them. They're doing it the right way, in my opinion. Trippier as well. Yes, Chris. That's what I'm saying, like real sensible signings. And Trippier, for me, actually, I don't know how anyone else feels, but he's been the best right back in the league for me. I know Ben White's getting shouts at Arsenal because of where they are, but Trippier's been on another level this season. And again, that's buying talent that has won a league over in Spain with Atletico Madrid and bringing that experience to that Newcastle dressing room. All good, man. All good. Let's have a look. What's everyone saying? Leeds is saying Jack ain't the guy he thinks he is. Too inconsistent and ain't worth 25 million realistically, probably 20 million at a push. Yeah, I completely agree. I don't think he's worth anywhere near 35 million, but we're playing in a market where when you get a little bit of clout in and you're an English player, especially a left-footed one, yeah, your price goes up, and we've got to take advantage of that. We have to take advantage of that market. Everyone I mean, the main thing I'm seeing here is sell Jack, get McKennie, and I've seen that about 10 times from different people. I love it. I love it. I love that the mentality is changing now to I know you love these guys, but it's time to look after the club and get better because this winning 4 games in 19 kind of stuff is kind of boring, isn't it? It's not nice. So we need to improve the squad, and I think it does that. Uh, Gail saying, I think the reception was fab and respectful when Click left and Mustang Jack for the efforts. Yeah, absolutely. All of these guys, and I want to make it clear as well, because I know that I'm very cold with them and saying that I want them gone. I appreciate all of their efforts, what they did for us in promotion, but I do think a few of them have overstayed their welcome. What I would love to do is celebrate them in 10 years' time when we're free of them and we're doing Leeds United stuff again on on big scales again and we can do like a dinner or something, a celebration kind of thing at Ellen Road, and just say thank you for getting us out the doldrums, and thanks to you, we've won the league again. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do, but we're still in the shadows and of some of those players right now, where I can't fully just say we've moved on yet because we haven't completely. So that's all it is for me. That's all it is for me. Gavin, Gavin, man, why you do this? We're not talking about Llorente. Leicester must take Llorente with the Jack deal. Tremendous. Oh Lord. Anto, hi KG from Dublin, Ireland. Shout out to you. Would you have a preference to sign McKennie and Unahi together or just McKennie? Well, if you can get both, I say why not, but I don't think that's realistic. Um, I like the potential of Unahi, but I like the combination of what I believe I'll be seeing with McKennie and Adams together, making the attacking players way more freer than they are right now. And I think it would even unlock Mark Rucker even more too. So I'll probably lean towards McKennie, but if we do get Unahi in, hey, I'm not screwing my face up to that one. Either or is good, but there's just something about the McKennie one to me that just says it's going to work more. I don't know. I'm not saying because I do think Unahi can adapt to the Premier League. By the way, no prem proven hype here, but yeah, McKennie would probably be it. 'Cause I just picture it and see it working. That's just my opinion, though. Uh, uh, so yeah, John B in the house. Exciting times right now, Leeds United. It's looking good, isn't it? It's looking good. I think that, like I say, I think the board have learned a lot of lessons from last January's transfer window, and and are doing something about it. And I think the 49ers are heavily involved in this too. Rads is still out. I think he's out in San Francisco still with the 49ers, and they must be talking business. So we'll see what the week brings. David Baker says we need a new Lee Bowyer. Oh, please. Is Unahi that type of player? He's not as. I don't think there's many people that are as box to box confident as Lee Bowyer was. And it's just a shame of how it went for Lee Bowyer in terms of things that happened off the pitch because on the pitch there wasn't many better than him box to box. Not only was he good defensively, but he'd score you goals, assist goals. He was a complete player for me. Like I absolutely love Lee Bowyer as a football player. He was magnificent, and I think if he was doing what he did for Leeds United at Liverpool at the time or Man United at the time, I think he'd have about 50, 60 England caps easy. The guy was so talented, but yeah, I mean, Unai he can get up and down the pitch, of course, but hey, that engine that Lee Bowyer had was unreal, absolutely unreal. You know how much I love Lee Bowyer because I still remember when he was out with a hernia operation for 6 weeks. And went, "What are we gonna do without Lee Bowyer?" That's how you know I love Lee Bowyer. I still remember him having to have a hernia operation. Magnificent. I know. John F is saying McKennie is box to box defensively. You would save us a lot of goals. He absolutely is. It's just when I think when someone says Lee Bowyer, though, you talk about somebody that gets to one end of the pitch to the other in no time at all. McKennie is definitely box to box, and he can get you goals via open play, set pieces. He's just got a lot to his arsenal. So let's stay tuned to that one. Let's stay tuned to that one. Uh, Lee's saying, "Why buy 3 players? Can we buy 3 points instead? It will help towards 3 points. That's the whole point. We're strengthening. We're strengthening. We're great going forward, but hey, it's behind. We need some work. But yeah, right. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Like I say, second stream done. Check out the previous ones if you haven't already. Leave your feedback on this one and let me know what you do with Jack Harrison and keep it respectful. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, whenever that may be. All right. Peace out and enjoy the rest of the evening. Oh, and let's see who we're going to get in the cup out of Accrington Stanley or Boreham Wood for Saturday. Peace out.